Really, my only guest tonight has been called a lot of things like America's female Charlie Chaplin and rubber face and a lot of silly stuff. Judging by her Nielsen ratings and by the awards that this country heaps upon her frail shoulders, it seems that she is obviously one of the most beloved entertainers I know of. She's had 3 Emmys, 6 Emmy nominations. She actually picked up an Emmy of mine once. 6 consecutive Fame Awards as the best comedian, the LA Times Woman of the Year, and so on and so on. She has made me laugh a million times. I don't know anyone I like better than Carol Burnett. What are we doing here?
Well, bottle them up and take them back home. That's
yes. How tacky of you to bring those buses of people in from California like that.
It cost a fortune.
These people have been waiting, and they've been through heck.
They have.
Yes, waiting for this show tonight. But now here we are, and they're
out of cigarettes.
Out of cigarettes. Do you want to try singing that later?
Which? Oh, here we are.
Isn't there a song like that?
What's it called?
Here we are.
Isn't it Two Sleepy People?
Yeah, Bob Hope did it in a movie, I think, or something.
You guys know that? Okay.
Well,
maybe
we'll come to that later. When everyone's left. You are maybe the coolest person I know. I've been around
Me? You're putting me on.
No, really.
Cool.
No, I've told you this, I think, once that time I came.
I am so nervous.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I've never seen. Now, when I sit here and do the show, I can often see muscles twitching in the faces of the guests. It's a miracle. It doesn't show up on camera. And your face is a picture
a massive muscles twitching. I know.
No, I don't believe there's a nerve in you. I saw your show taped once, and it was Thomas Place.
I'm very nervous. The thing is, though, that my mouth is so big it covers all kinds of twitching. You know. It's all twitching inside.
But we trust each other, don't we?
Yes, I do trust you. Yes.
Why do you touch my person constantly?
Well, I don't do it constantly. I do it whenever I get the chance, which is only when I'm on his show, folks.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
But there's something, I would trust you, you trust me.
Yes,
I have a feeling that we could talk easily without fear of embarrassment.
All right,
on stage
what do you
or
want
off.
to talk about?
I sat down, I wrote down I told you I'd write down a list of 100 things I wanted to know about you, and I got to 78.
Only 78?
I got 78 things that I wanted to know about you, and then I tore up the list. I thought we should just talk, but I don't want this to be an unpleasant evening for you.
It's so far been terrific.
How did you lose your virginity?
When I was a nun in the Alps.
Oh. I'm afraid I see. I think I better. I don't want to think about it. I don't know why I did that.
I was very pure all my life till I got married. I never fooled around.
Oh, you don't have to answer this.
Oh, well, you asked.
Well, that's nice. It's only the second time in my life I've ever asked that question.
Betty Davis, you asked.
You've seen this show.
I watch you. Yes, I do.
Even when you're not on it,
asked Betty Davis, and
she said, "I'll tell you."
She gave you the same answer I did. In fact, she and I had the same fella.
Oh, this is getting too much for me. I'm not even supposed to be up this late. Seriously, let's see. What could we talk about? How did Harvey Korman lose his? Maybe we could talk about that. It's a funny thing about that. People ask me that constantly in the audience cards.
How Harvey Korman lost his virginity?
No, not that. But people, I don't know why people are interested in such things. And
well, sex is interesting.
Do you find it so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
What's the next question?
I don't know. Hey, I have a feeling we have a number of things in common. Did you play as a kid? Or did I... No, see, they can't change the subject.
Right.
Did you play, or did I read this about you, play the movies you saw as a kid?
Yes, I did.
I did that.
I grew up in Hollywood. I was born in Texas, and we moved out to Hollywood, my grandmother and I, when I was 7. The movies, that was it. Let's go to the show. So I would, my grandmother and I, to beat the prices, we'd hit the movies before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I could get in for 12 cents or something. Lie about my age. I was this tall when I was 12, and sneak in, you know. And I saw 8 movies a week. There were double features. We'd go out 4 times. And we'd play Keno at one of the theaters. Once I won $5, but I was absolutely enamored of the movies in the late 40s. So I'd come home and I'd play Betty Grable or Joan Crawford or Betty Davis. Yeah. We had this vacant lot about 3 blocks from where I lived in Hollywood, and all of us would get up there and we'd play Nyoka, Queen of the Jungle.
Would you tie on a thing?
And Sheena, then Tarzan and Jane.
I loved Tarzan. I played Tarzan, and I met Johnny Weissmuller years later. It was one of the great thrills of my life.
I played Tarzan too.
Did you?
Yeah, my cousin Janice always played Jane because she was shorter and looked more like Jane, and I looked more like Tarzan. So, and that's how I learned to do the yell. And we'd mark off a whole thing on the lot. That was quicksand, and if you stepped on that, you were dead. You know, and then we'd hook up ropes or vines and swing across and yell and do all that. It was terrific.
To this day, I miss the swinging on those ropes.
Yeah.
I used to love to swing on those.
I was very athletic as a result, as a kid.
I look a little like Johnny Weissmuller, don't you find? Around, well, I don't see how you can do a thing like that. Did you ever play Gibbon, Nebraska, way back in the old days of vaudeville?
What? I beg your pardon? Gibbon, Nebraska?
Gibbon, Nebraska. That's where I was born.
That's where you were born.
Yeah, that's where I saw my first movie.
What'd you see?
I don't remember, but it had cowboys in it, I remember. And I loved violence on the screen. I was so taken with violence. And when we used to go, we used to play all the... Huh?
You don't now.
Even now, I love a violent movie.
Ooh.
It's a terrible thing to say, of course, because one is supposed to be against it.
I can't. Bambi makes me upset.
Bambi was a horrifying movie.
Yeah, I know. You know, when the
kids I knew were traumatized by Bambi when we saw it. Kids taken out screaming. Really, when the hunter kills Bambi's mother. I don't even want to talk about it now.
I saw The Godfather, and I didn't see it. I think I saw parts. I was like this, you know, just looking kind of through. And I would just listen to it, and I couldn't see it.
Well, I don't like the violence if it looks real, too real. There's one movie where Eli Wallach had his teeth beaten out on the floor in one of those Clint Eastwood films. That was a little much.
Well, I always liked the Westerns. They were okay. They'd go, pow, and they go, ah, and die. You know, now it's everything coming out.
I know. All over the place.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with everything coming out.